everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine. Today we're going to do another great workout you can do in your home. Very little equipment, very little space, and a full body workout. So remember to come into these workouts warmed up and ready to move. 5 to 10 minutes of a cardio workout just to get your heart rate up, muscles warmed up, and in the proper frame of mind for movement. Okay, we are going to start today with lat pull down. So secure that band or tube up in a higher space if you can. Do, around a higher banister or something. You can sit on a ball, you can sit on a chair. You could do one knee like this. I'm going to sit on the ground because mine isn't very tall. So the important part to this is to sit up tall, bring those shoulders down and back before you start. Have a good posture with your neck and chin, thinking of a rope pulling you up through the top of your head. And then keep those shoulders down and back. So take a breath before you start. We're going to pull down to your armpits, squeezing those shoulder blades down and back, and then slowly back up. When you let those arms up, don't let your shoulders come up. Keep them depressed. Keep breathing throughout. Think about driving those elbows down and back, giving those shoulder blades a good squeeze each time. Nice and slowly. You control the band does not control you. If you have a machine in your house, you're welcome to use that as well. Give yourself a little more weight. In order to make this a little more challenging, you can double up on the bands. You can wrap it around itself a couple times to make it a little bit shorter. 2 more. Squeezing down, controlling that band. Last one, slowly on the way up. Okay, good. And rest. Okay, now we're going to stand up. So stand up nice and slowly if you were on the ground. And we're going to do some squat kicks or squat knee extensions. So what I want you to do is, we can do this next to something sturdy like a kitchen counter, or, I've got this sturdy cardio machine here. I want you to sit back into a squat. So when I do a squat, I think about sitting back. I'm sitting my hips back. My weight is in my heels, my knees are over my ankles, straight over my ankles, not collapsing towards each other. Sit back, stand up, kick, back, up. And it's not a real forceful kick, it's more of a controlled knee extension, if you will. We're going to try 10 on each side. If you find that it's getting to be too much, you can stop earlier, of course. Sitting back, just like you're going to sit down onto a chair. Breathing, keeping those shoulders down and back, chest up nice and tall. If you need to, you can hang on to something beside you for a little balance. If you don't need to, work on that balance in between. 4 more. Sit back into those heels. You want your weight in your heels here, not in your toes. Keeping those knees right over your ankles. Hinging at the hips. 1 more each side. I may have lost count there, and rest. Okay, good. Next we're going to grab, if you have a Surge or a Camagon or a jug of water in your house. Most people have a jug that you can use. This works great. I like to use things around your house that provide a little resistance and a little bit of different handhold. We're going to do some step out punches. So standing right in the middle, I want you to step out kind of a diagonal, punch out to that side. Step out, punch. So we're just kind of moving, shifting your weight each time you step out, holding on to that water jug, making it slosh, make a noise. Make it slosh like a washing machine. You can also, the great thing about using things around your house like this is you can fill it to any weight, to any capacity. Like this one's only filled about 2/3 full. I'm going to switch hands now. I'm going to make my hands work a little bit differently. halfway through. You can use a full one, of course. A full gallon of liquid is about 8 pounds. So 2/3, I've probably got about 5 pounds here, 6 pounds, depending on exactly how full it is. If the punching doesn't feel good, if you're having any pain anywhere, just step out and press that weight. Having to push that weight away from your body works your core. Let's end with a good punch if you're able to. All right, great. Okay, next we're gonna stand again near something sturdy. You can stand if your kitchen counter is here, you can hang on there. We're gonna do some quick march or quick knee ups into a hold. So this is a little bit of a balance and power at the same time. So we're gonna get into that motion quickly and then hold it. So I want you to march up, hold, we'll say for 2 or 3 seconds. Switch. I lost my balance there. Switch. So we're working on a little bit of an explosive movement into a hold. So then your whole body has to work to hold it in that spot. Breathe, shoulders down and back. If you're using something to hang on to, try to just put your hand over the top of it so that you're not just hanging on, but it's there just in case. You can even use like a chair, like right next to you, a sturdy chair, or a wall. Now our goal is to do 10 on each side here. If this is really challenging, start with 5 on each side. Breathing. So we're using that quick change into a hold. 1 more on each side. And rest. All right, good. And then you can do that you can kind of add to that. If you feel that that's really easy and you can just stand there and hold it forever and you're really changing quickly, you could do it on a balance pad. You could stand on a pillow. You could do it out in the grass. Standing in grass can be more challenging because it's not that good firm surface. You could do it on a Bosu, but that's going to be really challenging. You can kind of increase and decrease that challenge depending on how you're feeling with that one. Okay, now we're going to use a smaller weight band or a lightweight band. We're going to do some Pallof Stepouts. So I've got a lighter band here. This, you know, about torso, hip width, hip height, shoulder height, right in there. I want you to push that weight or that band straight out in front of you. So I've got it right in between my shoulders here. Good athletic stance. So your hips are engaged, your knees are engaged, your tummy's nice and tight. This is right in front of you, shoulders are down. I'm going to have you step out, tiny little baby steps. 1, 2, 3. Holding that right in between your shoulders the whole way. This is a core exercise. Holding that band. It should become harder as you step out. We're going to go 1 more time. So we're going to go 3 times, 3 little steps. And you can decide here, depending on the strength of your band, when you start, I want a little resistance on it. Not a lot, but a little bit of a resistance. Now we're going to turn around. So holding this straight in front, tiny little steps out, tiny little steps back. Holding that right in between your shoulders. You should be feeling this in your obliques, in your core. Nice and slowly controlling that band. 1 more time. Shoulders down. Now going back is actually a little more challenging. And rest. Again, you can do more of those, but I like to start with 3 because it's more challenging normally than people think it's going to be. You really feel it right here in your obliques. So you're keeping it right in front of you. Don't let it come here and don't try to pull it further. Trying to keep it right in the middle. Okay, we're going to end with an exercise on the floor. So you can always spread a mat out, or you can just lay on the floor depending on what you've got. You can even do these in a bed if you have trouble getting up and down off the floor. We're going to do bridges. So lying with your feet flat on the floor, your knees bent, hands right beside your hips. And then before we go up into that bridge, a bridge is pushing up through your heels, pressing your hips up towards the ceiling. What I want you to do is think about flattening your back to the mat, squeeze your glutes, press your hips towards the ceiling. Now, the important part here is the glute squeeze, and we're going to come down. Flatten your back, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips. This is not one where you need to think about pushing your hips really, really, really high. I just want an engaged backside here. So this is a hamstring and glute exercise. Flatten your back, squeeze your glutes, push up. If you're doing it properly, you will feel it mostly in your glutes. Flatten your back, squeeze your glutes, press your hips. We're going to hold. Now, look, my weight is down through my heels here, not through my toes. I want your weight through your heels, and then rest. Don't hold your breath, breathing throughout, and relax. There's ways to make this more challenging. There's ways to add things to this, but sometimes I like to go back to the basics and really review how to do this properly so that when we do add other things to it, you've got that down. You've got that base strength, that base knowledge. Flatten your back, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Make sure you're keeping your shoulders relaxed. You can keep your hands down here beside your hips. Like I talked about, it gives you a little stability. You can also just put your hands on your tummy. Wherever your hands are comfortable. This gives you a little less stability, making your body work harder. This gives you more stability, making it a little easier. Let's do 2 more. Press up, breathing. Now by the end of this, you should really be feeling this in your glutes. Last one. Flatten your back, squeeze your glutes, press up. And rest. Good. You can pull those knees into your chest to kind of stretch that out. You can, if you do happen to get a hamstring cramp, sometimes people will get a hamstring cramp with that. Just straighten out your legs here. Release those hamstrings. And then that is it for today. So go through those 1 or 2 more times all the way through the circuit. You can add a little cardio in between, get your heart rate up, and get a nice full body workout. To remember to follow with a good cool down and a stretch. And have a great workout, everybody. If you need anything, if you have any questions, if you need any substitutions, you can always feel free to leave something in the comments or private message me. Thank you, everybody.